let's see. This is very different, so I need to make sure there's a lot of cards from a lot of the decks I built were immediately removed. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll refrain from discard.
Yep. 1, 2, 3. And 4.
You finally got a format for VTS that has no press.
Yeah.
This'll
My
be fun.
whining paid
No,
off.
I think your point was good. Like, press was it became such a thing that, like, you know, about a quarter to or not a quarter, about an eighth to a third of your deck needed to include press, either as a proactive strategy or a reactive strategy.
Yeah.
And that just seems like it takes away from the core concept if your goal is to show all the aspects.
Yeah.
Malachi.
Now this might get interesting.
Yeah, I think this should be a very interesting game.
You know, I need to get rid of cards.
Sure. We'll contest that at some point.
Yeah, sure. No worries. And let's go bleeding.
Sure. I'll try to welcome Malachi.
I will. Yeah, no, stop. You block me.
Okay. Anything pre?
Yeah, sure. There you go.
Well, I got you stick.
Yep. I want to go on long range, please.
Yeah, I assumed you would. I just wanted to get my stick out there. Stick is nice.
Yeah.
So
hand strike.
Sure. I'll wave as well, and I'll take your 2. All right. No press, obviously.
No press.
Any taste?
No taste.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I'd say combat ends, but that phrase I think is just straight up banned. So combat is over.
Yeah, it is banned. But I think it does simplify things.
Yeah. Taste, or I'm sorry, Life in the City.
This should be banned as well.
No, I think this card is fine in the format. I think this card
it is not.
I mean, this is doing exactly the same thing it used to do back in the days when it was played. All right. Well, this is nice and easy for me. Attempt to bleed with a dominate Kine, and I will seduce your only vampire. So it's a bleed for 2.
Okay.
Then I will influence. I have the edge. And bring up Aniel.
Yep.
And I will continue to have no discard.
All right, unlock. Not sure I want to do anything.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Time to get reactive, huh?
Me? No, never.
All right, well, I'm going to enjoy what I'm about to do next.
There you go.
Yeah, gain a pool from the edge. Oh, I did it. Master, Life in the City. I think that's going to be a big debate point we should have, is whether or not this format is perfect for Life in the City or whether or not Life in the City is wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, let's go for another Dominate Kine bleed.
Sure. Dowager wants a block.
Yep, Dowager has inherent stealth, so let's make
No,
use some intercept rather. Let's make use some stealth, some intercept cards.
Sure.
There you go. All right, we are in combat.
Yes, we are.
I already did my pre, so what do you got?
Not pre.
All right. Any maneuvers? Because I got none.
Nope.
My strike is I got you stick.
My strike is 3.
I will have to prevent that.
Sure. I pick 2.
Yep. I remove 2 of these. 1, 2. Any additional?
Nope.
All right. Combat ends. Or I'm sorry, combat is over.
Yep.
Unless you have a taste. Sorry. Taste before combat is
No,
over.
combat is over. But I guess I will unlock.
Okay. Yeah, let's see if you got it again. Let's go another dominant kind.
Sure. Dowager wants a block.
I meant when I said it. See if you have it again.
What do you think of me?
All right, there you go. All right, let's go to combat. Before range, I got you stick.
Yep.
That's it for me pre-combat.
Nope.
Any maneuvers? Because I got none.
Nope.
Nothing before strikes. My strike is you want some stick.
My strike is dodge and burn your stuff.
No, my stick. My stick. My stick. Oh,
Yes.
that's not how you take stick. I'm gonna go to discard, I think here, and I'm gonna discard a melange.
Yep. Unlock. All right. So let's get a army of rats.
I'll take some bait here. Let's Eyes of Argus and melange for an intercept.
More of that?
Yeah. Nope. You got it.
Nice.
I slightly messed up in the design of this deck.
And
Also, I'm getting a very lackey draw.
I will take 2 off. And discard.
All right, unlock. Gain 1 from the edge. This is during your turn, right? Yep. I will Life in the City again.
Does any of your decks not have Life in the City?
Yes. I think one of my decks does not have Life in the City.
Out of how many?
6, I believe. Maybe 7. Let's go for another Dominant Kind Bleed.
Gardox?
Yeah, I will let you have me.
No, I just unlock.
Right. Did you also attempt to block, I thought? Oh, no, you do not
No,
attempt to block with that one. Okay. So, yeah, you're unlocked. But you have an
but
inherent intercept if you wanted to attempt to block. So,
yeah, I know. It's Dominant can bleed.
yes. So, right now we're tied.
Yeah, he blocks.
Okay.
That's fine.
No pre.
There you go.
Sure. No maneuver.
No maneuver.
My strike is you vote some stick.
My strike is no. Hold on. That's stupid. That is not a good strike. And one.
Okay. I will prevent you and the crows.
Yep.
So take you stick. Bloop. Bloop.
Yep. I cannot taste.
Let us bleed here, seducing. We'll continue to seduce here. Why not? She gets to cheat with that built-in intercept. Yeah. Let's go Bondo.
Let's go Worms.
All right, sure. You got me.
Nice.
Pre. I got you stick.
Sure you do.
No maneuvers.
No maneuver.
My strike is you vote some stick.
My strike is slam.
Okay. I will prevent all but one, and I will lose 2 stick counters.
And I will taste.
For one. Darn you.
Poor you.
Yep.
You do not have my sympathy.
So far behind now. Where have you gained blood from? I guess you took 2 back, right?
Yeah,
that was it. Okay. All right. Nothing during influence. I will have no discard.
All right. Unlock. Now you lose.
Yep.
Now Dowager has to hunt.
Yeah, no block.
Now Larissa wants to bleed.
I will Eyes Vargas here and attempt to block.
1 stealth.
1 intercept and superior.
And I am blocked.
All right, here you go.
So.
Nothing pre.
There you go.
Okay. No maneuvers.
No maneuver.
Okay. What is your strike?
My strike is slam.
I got you stick. Vote some. And I will prevent all but 1.
And I will paste 1.
Damn. You're almost done. And my stick is burned.
Yep. I will. Add 4.
I'll put this card on the acting minion. Okay, so it's this minion, not minions against. I always mistake it for that other one.
And
all right, unlock. Gain 1 from the edge. I will, as a master, do a wider view.
Yep.
Second master will be to contest Fame on Dowager.
Yep.
Minion. Bleed with Malachi, seducing Larissa.
Dodge awakes. Press block.
Bonding for a stealth.
Sure.
It is for, nope, it's for 3.
No. Do you have?
Oh, right.
stealth?
That's I forgot. Dowager has the built-in intercept. Yep, you got me. That was me forgetting again.
Yeah.
Pre, I got you stick.
Sure.
Anything pre for you?
Nope. No pre.
No maneuver.
No maneuver.
My strike is you want some stick.
And my strike is handed on.
Ooh, I will take your 1. Too bad that's not an active Fame.
Yeah.
Going on. Bleed 1.
Yeah, how much?
2. Influence, I will wider view once. We'll get rid of Malachi. And then
Yep.
1, 2, 3. And then
Yep.
I will discard a seduction.
Yep. So you take 1.
Yep.
I play a dummy corporation.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting card in this format.
Absolutely. I will not. No, I will it's over anyway. I will.
Yeah, I mean, if you yield contesting, all that ends up happening is we're going to take 1 each turn, which is in my advantage. Like, any way you do this is in my advantage.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I won't contest.
Okay.
So
there's yours.
And so she wants to get a creeping sabotage.
No block.
Very nice.
First one's free.
Yep. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ooh. That's why you refrained.
Yep. So.
Oh, you're not bringing it out, though. Unlock. Gain 1 from the edge. Master. Life in the City. And I'll do a second one.
What's the lowest number of knife in the cities you're on?
7. No, 5. 5 is the lowest number.
What's the highest?
7. I thought the only number was 7, but I realized in one of the decks where I still have them, I trimmed it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's go for Malachi, dominate Kine with a seduction for
Sure.
3.
Well, I would like to
Oh, she's a Primogen. Okay, yeah.
burn dummy corporation.
Yep. All right, you still take 1.
Yep.
Aniel to bleed.
How much?
1. I will influence.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Hold your horses.
I thought that question was because you had decided not to block.
Yeah, I decided not to block. However, I haven't decided whether or not to
Wake and play
wait.
protected resources.
Yes,
Okay.
I will do so.
Okay. So for 0 then. All right. Then I'll move to influence. 1, 2. Bring up Apikun. And I'll discard a telepathic counter.
Yep.
I take 2.
Unlock. You take 2. I will mandatory hunt.
No black.
I will add 1.
Okay.
Which was too little, too late.
Yeah, I think you shouldn't have pulled back on bringing her out.
Yeah, I shouldn't. I will discard. And
All right. Unlock. Master will be a wider view.
oh, you take 1.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I
thank
took
you.
1 as well.
Oh, yeah, from the fame. That's right, because the fame is active.
Yep.
That sucks, because I also forget the edge.
You cannot play wide of you.
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
They're not unique.
It's
Yeah,
not unique.
it's not Dummy Corp.
Jesus.
All right, Molly. Change the game a little bit. Bleed 2 with Malachi.
Molly attempts to block.
Molly can most certainly block.
Nice.
No pre.
Malachi. Oh, Malachi. Yeah. I got no pre.
All right. No maneuvers.
No maneuver.
You want some stick?
How much
2.
counters are on the stick?
3 counters are on the stick.
Dodge and burn.
No! Wait, but it's an additional strike to burn, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you still take the stick initially.
No, it's dodge.
Oh, right, the dodge. Yeah, I'm sorry. The other part of that is a dodge. Never mind. It makes sense the dodge would block the swing. Yep. Let's make her need intercept.
Need intercept.
Yep.
What's this?
Hello, you got it. All right. No pre.
Yeah, pre.
Okay. You gonna use that maneuver?
Just you tell me if you maneuver.
I'm not maneuvering. I don't maneuver. I got stick.
Yeah, you know.
So you go along?
I won't know. I won't
stay
maneuver.
close? Okay.
Yep.
My strike is stick.
My strike is slam.
Let's see. That's 4 because of her thing. 5, 6 total. I will prevent, and Apakun will prevent.
So you take how much?
0. No, she's got inferior. Sorry. Yeah, I take 2. Damn it. I forgot she has inferior. No taste. Oof.
Yeah.
That's what I was worried about.
My library is empty.
Bleed 1?
No block. How much?
1.
And that's enough.
Oof.
Well, not yet, but you know.
Yeah. I will burn a wider view. And discard a telepathic counter.
Yep. And I burn 1.
Yep. Good job, Fame. Yeah, I think so. The Life in the City thing, just real quick. I think that the card is like this card when it initially premiered many years ago was also a very heavily played card, and it's supposed to be a pretty significantly played card when you have minions that are exactly in this situation where they know they're going to be in with a perpetual combat. And I think that this adds enough turns to the game while also letting you cycle through a slightly larger deck that you might normally have. But not so many turns that it makes the game too long. But that's up for. I would agree that that's up for some amount of debate because it does potentially add a substantial amount of turns. But I think a deck that, yeah, I think good decks will use it more efficiently. But it does feel kind of like a Bolton. But what are you going to do otherwise, right? Hunting is really bad in this. Once you start hunting, you're basically on a very rapid scale to losing the game because of your action economy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but why? But why not allow hunting grounds then?
Because hunting grounds do not take an additional master phase action. They're always there. They're automatic. And
yeah, but I'm not really convinced.
It's fair for you to feel that way, and I would say that like this is literally in a very thin space. Like this is literally where we would choose to draw the line, right? I would say that like Life in the City as a trifle that can be played off of itself is probably a little too strong. I think that maybe the trifle mechanic should also not exist or have like a caveat that you can't play an additional trifle. But then we're starting to make the 1v1 format too different from the multiplayer from the big format. And so you start having that like dissociation from players. It's also hard because the current list of cards that you can play in this format also make it kind of dissociative, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I'll try to make a deck real quick.
Okay. Or just modify something with Life in the Cities.
Yeah.
But I will pick a different deck this time. I just wanted to see if after the changes, this deck was still consistent.
I know. And it is. It definitely.
I think I'm definitely going to try a. Oh no, I'm sorry. 4 is the lowest number of Life in the Cities I have in a deck.
Doesn't matter. Still too much.
I actually think it won't be. I think this deck wants more.
You could restrict the number.
Yeah, I almost think that wouldn't be a bad thing, but I still think the restriction number is going to be pretty high, right? And if you're going to do it to one card, you need to do it to all the cards.
It's not a query in the format, do you know?
I believe so. Hold on. Close, type, reaction, limited mode on. Yeah, on the QV is in.